A lot of people are doing their classes online, and I've been asked if I were doing that, so here we are. And happy spring. This is the first day of spring. It's been raining today. Probably most people are in their homes and finding themselves working with the myriad of emotions that we're all dealing with the coronavirus, and being at home, and even us introverts are feeling still some of the anxiety, and things have just changed a lot in terms of our routines. So today's mini class, or full class, is going to be about finding the steadiness inside, hugging into that resiliency, and finding ways that, of course, we're all feeling a little out of balance, but then where is the balance within that place? So that's what we're going to be playing within, a little bit of a potpourri type of class, but with plenty of balance poses. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start just right here with the palms together. Close your eyes. Take a couple of full deep breaths. You're worthy of this breath. We allow ourselves to take in the radiant fullness of prana, of energy, of vitality. And on the exhale, allow yourself to breathe out anything that is causing a grip or block. Of course, not all of it releases on the first breath. So this is the invitation as we continue with the breath to bring in the vitality as you inhale. Release the holding and the gripping on the exhale. And let's start with one Om together. Let's take a breath in. Good. Let's start briefly in hands and knees position. So you're going to take the inhale and look up, and the exhale, round and look to your heart. Inhale, look up. You're sitting both into the sky, the upper back moves down. And exhale, push and round. And then move with your breath a few times, allowing a sense of fluidity, flow, connection into that kind of lusciousness that is inside all of us, even when sometimes anxiety or nervousness covers it up. So you breathe and you move, and the invitation is, of course, you feel free to go sideways or barrel roll through the torso. Do side bends. You can even take a few moments and move backwards to the hips. And then with the toes tucked, we'll move into downward facing dog. Before you go, hands are grounded. With your straight arms, we take a breath in, and exhale, release your upper back. So the arm holds are set more in the back plane. Then lift up your hips and move into downward dog. The first one, I suggest bend the knees. Knees wide. Pull the inner thighs back into the low back as a little bit of a curve. Pick up the ribs, and then start to stretch the thighs back. You can walk the feet a little closer, but they don't need to be on the first one. And as you push down with the hands, rebound from the heart all the way out through the sitting bones and down to the heels. And release the neck for 2 more breaths. Another breath in. And then exhale, step your right foot forward. Come on the fingertips. Settle into the front leg, relax the face, and as you inhale, pull into this sense of connection to your own resiliency. Pull the leg muscles into the pelvis, and exhale from the pelvis root down, a sense of groundedness to the feet, and spring the heart forward. With a breath a few times, inhale, pulse in, and exhale from the pelvis, pulse down, and rebound through the heart. Last pulse in. Good, square the hips, press the feet down. We're going to extend the spine, take a little twist to the right. Up through the hips toward the center. And then little back bend feel of the head and the shoulders as you take a couple more breaths. And then when you exhale, release your hand to the floor, step back into a downward facing dog. And explore a little bit of a play with the knees. Take another breath in. And exhale, left foot forward. Soften into the thigh, soften into the jaw. And then as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other, pulling the energy all the way up, the legs into the pelvis. And from the pelvis, stretch it out longer. And this is dynamic pulse in and out. Keep going. And you're finding that like you're like fine, and then the emotions come, right? So we're kind of find into the resilience and then extend and be okay with the pulsation. That's very natural. Now, once you're extending into both feet, rebound up through the spine. The hips are hugging towards each other. And then you open and twist, arm up. And with the shoulders and the throat flowing back, take a couple of breaths. Fill into the lungs. We fill into the lungs the space of air element, freshness in the air. Take another breath in. And exhale, release your hands to the floor. We're going to step forward, standing forward fold. Couple breaths here. When you inhale, swing the chest forward, bend the knees quite deeply with the heels down. Root the inner heels down with a sense of earthiness and steadiness. Pull the hips back, ribs back. Swing the heart forward. And exhale, stretch from the pelvis down through your legs, straightening them, and we'll bow in again. Inhale, swing the chest forward on the knees. And exhale, bow. Last time. Here. This time, step your left leg back. Put the back heel down. So the front leg is pointing to the front of the mat or the pinky toe. The back foot's on the floor. Your hands go to the front corner of the mat. So it's like a down dog in the upper arms, front leg, back leg. They're in a warrior position. Bow the head, couple breaths here. Now pull the front heel toward the back heel, and that lets the back leg, if it's sinking, actually pull up. So there's not a collapse in through here. Okay? So that hugging into the center builds a resiliency and an upliftment. So on the inhale, we're going to pull in. Exhale, pull the hips back, straightening the front leg a bit. Okay? So we'll do it again. Inhale, pull the heel towards each other without letting the back leg drop. And exhale, pull the hips back, straightening the front leg. Once more. Now, if the front leg doesn't straighten, it's not a problem. Your hand just stays on the outside of the leg or on a block. Push down without locking the knees. Push down with the hand. The ribs are back. You roll the shoulders and the head back. Arm to the sky. Take a couple of breaths here. Let's take the top arm, pivot it, so the palm faces the direction of your head. Stretch the arm by the ear. And as you exhale and stretch from the back hip down into the foot, rebound then from the hip, through the arm, through the fingers, through the crown. So exhales are grounding the legs. Inhales are elongating the torso and arm. Good, and then as you exhale, release your hand down, pivot in between your legs, and respectfully bow in toward yourself. And as you bow, we allow ourselves to remember that a lot of things are coming up for everybody during these days of learning about, this kind of new reality that we have. And we bow and allow ourselves whatever feelings that are happening to be there. And the way that we kind of reconcile is not to think about, I have to think about feeling certain ways, and I should be doing this, and I should be feeling this, but we allow what is to be. We bow into what is with a sense of compassion and patience and kindness. Please take the inhale, swing your chest forward. Turn the other foot in, and in my legs, it's the left foot. Bend the front leg. Walk the hands to the front corner of the mat. So the legs are like a warrior position. The hands are like down dog. And as you take a couple of breaths, it's a hip opener, inner thigh opener. And as you pull the front heel toward the back leg kind of springs up and has a buoyancy, even as we're strengthening and finding the sense of resiliency and steadiness at our center. From your pelvis, root down through the feet without dropping the back leg. One more breath. Then come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, hug the heels together without punching the face. And exhale, pull the hips back, straightening the front leg more. Ooh, you feel it doesn't have to straighten all the way. Okay, just to where you're feeling it. So we're going to inhale, bend the knee, pulling the heels towards each other so the inner thighs stay strong. And exhale, pull the inner thighs back as the ball of the foot gets more grounded and rooted. A couple more times. And this time, when you straighten the front leg, walk your hands back further. The left hand can go outside the left leg. Push down without the legs bending. Groins back. Push down, ribs back. Take the head and the shoulders back. The top arm goes skyward. So on the exhales, get grounded from the pelvis down through the feet. And as you keep that, inhale, create openness and spaciousness. Just like springtime, we're just inviting the sense of deep rootedness so that we can stay open, stay loving, stay positive. Top arm pivots, bring it by the ear. And the exhale that now roots down through the back foot is a little bit more side stretch to the body. Good. Take another breath in. Here we're going to pivot down, lunge, plank pose. Take an in breath. Pull the floor up to you as you lower chaturanga. Flatten the feet. Inhale, cobra, either on the fingertips like I'm doing, or flat. Take another breath. Lower, pull it back, hands and knees, child pose, or downward facing dog. Then walk your hands and your feet towards each other. Inhale, swing the chest forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, stand tall. Okay, from here, let's move into tree. So we'll take a little bit more weight into the right leg here. This is actually my left leg, but probably your right leg, see? So then left leg here, place it on the inner thigh. You can also put it on the calf or even the ankle on the floor, okay? If you want to move to a wall, totally fine. First thing, we're here. We're gonna relax the face. It's okay that we're feeling wobbles. That's life, especially these days. But then in the wobble, we acknowledge that there is still a place that's inside that can acknowledge center, that can resonate with center. Hug your foot and your leg towards each other. And then keeping that from the pelvis, root down through the legs, the sense of earthy steadiness. With the sense of rooted steadiness, inhale the arms up. Now the arms can go all the way over the head, they can go here, they can be helping your balance. But can the breath be steady and smooth as you turn the top leg out, the front leg out? One more breath. And then from the inside, allow it to be like springing open like a crocus. And then keeping the center line, release your foot, release your arms. Take one full breath. You can shift the weight into your left leg. We'll place the right foot up onto the inner thigh. Take the first breath to unclench the face, to get the rib cage full, to remember that this is your beautiful time for self-care and re-nourishment and realignment. We hug into the alignment of your own centered resiliency. Hug your foot and your leg together. And from that place of centeredness, root from your pelvis down through the legs, this deep sense of steadfastness. even in the midst of the great wobbles of life of this pose. Keeping the rootedness, inhale the arms over the head, or arm to cactus, or any way that feels helpful for you. Breathe. And the last few breaths, just let it be big, bright, blossoming. And then release. Another balance pose. I'm going to take the right leg forward, left leg back, breath of the heart. Take your first breath and swell up inside, shoulders back, turn the arms out. We're going to lift the back leg up, tip forward slightly. When the back leg turns out, we're going to turn it in. From the ribs, root down. And then draw open and up. And as you turn your arms out, the blades lift your heart, sprouting them up toward the blades up into the heart. And breathe here. You can go quite lifted, you can be low. Another breath, and then release. Hridaya Pavasana. Okay, you're gonna take your right leg back, left leg strong and steady. So from the pelvis root down, keep it. Inhale, spring up. The back leg can come up too. Tip forward, lift the back leg, turn it in. That's gonna allow the low back to stay wide and not get compressed. So from the bottom rib, stretch down. And then inhale, lift up, start to curl the blades up into the heart. And in the midst of the wobble, allow yourself to stay full in the heart, open in the lungs, sweet in the face. And then in the last breath, allow beauty to come through more. And then release. Full breath here. Feeling your feet, feeling your own heart beating. Feeling the vitality that is still inside, even though sometimes it feels very contracted and constricted in our life. But here, we recognize always there is a window, an access point to the vitality inside, to a sense of freedom, a sense of possibility. Rounding the legs, inhale the arms up over the head. And as you exhale, hips back and touch the earth. Inhale, swing the heart forward. Exhale, step the left leg back. Put the knee down. Okay, so the front heel stays down on this one. We're lunging. And you can lunge as far forward as you like, but keep the front heel down. Dangle the arms. And then as you root down on the legs, rebound up. Arms up. And arms down, but stay lifted inside. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, arms down. Last one. And then this time, exhale the hands to the front thigh, bend the elbows, push down, ribs back, glide the belly toward the front leg, and take the left elbow outside of your right leg. We'll reverse that if you're on the other leg. So either here or stack your palms, your lift the elbow, hug your hips towards each other, and root the legs down. Keeping that, inhale, extend through the spine, turn your torso, particularly your mid-ribs and your face, and then open up the chest. Breathe here. Glide the shoulder back, and you can stay in this position, or lift the back leg, round the legs, and open the chest for another couple breaths. Then look down, put the hands down. If the back knee is on the ground, lift it up, and we'll move into Parsvottanasana, pivoting the back heel down. Press the foot down, take the hips back and the front leg, move straighter. You can be on blocks here, put your hands on a chair or the wall, or just work with your front leg a little bit. Find your breath. Gently hug the feet towards each other. And with that sense of hugging into stability, root down more groundedness. Keep the grounded quality in your pose. Lengthen out of the hips, through the spine and head, and then bend the elbows and bow. Couple breaths here. Inhale, extend the heart. And then exhale. This one's a little bit of a different transition. Bend the front leg, lift the back heel, left hand forward. You're gonna pivot the back foot on the floor, pivot the front foot, same direction as your chest. Push down, roll the chest open, top arm up, head back. So the feet are really grounding here. Stay here, or pivot the top arm, stretch it, side bend, here, or top leg moves on top of the bottom leg. Grab the floor, pull the shoulder blade into the heart, and turn your heart into a back bend. Down dog. Or child pose. Other side, left foot forward, right knee down, come up. Find your breath, arms dangling. Then press the legs down, rebound the energy up, shoulders back, and turn the arms out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms down, but stay lifted. Twice more. And this time, hands on the front leg, bend the elbows. Yes, we shift the hips back, push down, ribs back, typewriter the belly toward the front leg, and take the elbow outside. You can also put your hand outside if the belly is not appropriate for the belly to move to the leg, or there's not enough room. Hand or elbow, okay? Hand can go to the hip, particularly if your hand likes to be here, or palm together. Hug the hips towards each other, root down in the feet, and then extend from the bottom ribs up to the top of the head and then turn from there. As you have fluid, beautiful breath, stay here or lift the back leg. Often very wobbly here, and allow your mind to stay steady in the wobble. Please look down, put your hands on the floor. If the back knee is still down, lift it up. Pivot the back foot. Shift the hips back, hands back, and stretch the front leg straighter. Use blocks under your hands as you need, or up on some support. Hips back, legs grounded, and bow. Please, a couple breaths here. Inhale, chest up. Now bend the front leg. The right hand goes forward. You spin onto the back foot. So the back foot and the front hand, those are the same side, okay? You're gonna turn the front foot out. Roll the shoulders back. Good. So if this is too much on the arm, put the back knee down, okay? Otherwise we stay here, push down in the hand, the feet, shoulders open, arm to the sky. Find your breath, stay here, maybe a side bend arm. You maintain this, or top leg, steps on the bottom leg, you squeeze to midline, grab the bottom hand on the floor, and start to pull sprouting energy all the way up into the shoulder blade. The shoulder blade turns your heart skyward, and we stretch. Find your breath. Keep the shoulder blade engaged, the stomach feeling supported. And you place the hand down, send the hips skyward. Downward facing dog. And then move either into child pose, which I'm doing now. Or you can sit on your heels, Vajrasana. You can also sit on a block. Couple breaths here, please. Let your breaths be even to reflect the quality that your mind is also able to get even Even if the heart is beating, we have the capacity to return to a place of centeredness. And even if it's not easy, this is the practice of actually practicing how to find center, even when the sensations are intense. All right, so from here, we're going to do a few things on the ground. I'm just going to adjust the screen. Okay. So for here, we'll have the left leg pointing ahead, the right knee out to the side. Now you'll notice that this is not a 90 degrees. This is 90-degree angle here. This is wider than 90 degree, moving the heel toward the right groin. Okay. And I like to untuck and widen the flesh of the hamstrings and buttocks. Start with the fingertips behind. Push down, lift the low back up. When you do this, the pelvis should move from a tilted back position to a neutral or tipped forward position. If it's not the case, you can put a blanket underneath you or even pull the heel, knee bent, to get a little lift. Go in between the legs. So the inner thighs descend down, we're lengthening the spine, and the elbows, and then draw the ribs back and bow. When you're in this beautiful position, whether your head is on the floor or your spine is just trying to move straight, we're breathing in this bowing position. It is kind of humble recognition that as much as we try, we're actually not really in charge of what's happening in our life all the time. There's something greater. And we may not always understand the purpose or the reason, but the work that we have here is, can we listen? Can we see what the lessons are for ourselves right now? How do we connect in? How do we find resiliency that is living inside? And the patience and the kindness that are deeply the seeds of our being. Okay, inhale, come up. We're gonna keep the same leg. If you need to, bend the knee, hug the heel toward the hip, and I'll give you a little more support. Take the same hand as straight leg down, the other arm up. Pivot the palm to the head, side stretch here. Or if you can prevent the low back from rounding, if you can keep neutral pelvis or slightly anteriorly tipped, forward tipped, then pull with the hand, a little bend of the elbow or a lot of a bend, and then bigger stretch. Some of you can move to hand to foot, that's fine. I'll go here for now. We just take a couple of breaths, opening up through the side, which tends to feel contracted when we're energetically and emotionally feeling burdened and stressed. So breathing the inhale from hip to armpit, even as the hips are rounded. Good, and then inhale, come up. Place the top hand up on the floor. We'll roll forward to the knee, side stretch the other side, make it a little back bend, and then release. Okay, switch sides. Take the left leg back. I'm going to spin this way so it's easier for you to see me. Okay. Fingertips behind, push down, roll the pelvis from a tuck under to a neutral or tuck forward or roll forward. Fingers forward. If when you did that, pelvis went backwards, a little more height, or keep your hands behind you. Okay. Lengthen the back, and bend the elbows and bow. A couple breaths here. When you take your next inhale, come up. We'll stay in this position. Feel free to bend the knee and pull the heel for a little bit more support through the hips. Same hand as straight leg goes down, the other arm goes up. Pivot the arm, stretch it by the ear. Stay here, or you can bend the bottom arm down more. If when you do this, the pelvis tucks under, I'd say don't bend it. So there's a groundedness, but also an expansion. Find your breath here. Good. Inhale, come up. Okay. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. So in this position, this is a real easy one for the knees to be up here in the back, to be rounded in the low back. So great to have some support underneath the bottom. Okay. Fingers behind, push, try to get the pelvis to roll forward. All right. When you're rolling the pelvis forward, instead of trying to move the rib cage forward to make that happen, try to lift the sternum. Pressing the feet, even just the outer edges are fine together. And from the pelvis, use your next exhale and stretch your knees to the long side of the yoga mat, or to the side of the yoga mat. Just a few breaths here. Stay here, or hands to the ankles. You can do the feet as long as you don't pick up the toes and sickle the feet. And then lean forward, or bend the elbows and you can bow. Okay, please inhale, come up. Bring the legs together. Some of you know this next, it's a mudra called Fearless Heart Mudra that Sienna Sherman has taught me and so many other yogis. So in this one, the right arm goes over the left. The back of the hands are towards each other. You start with the pinkies and cross the right pinky over the left pinky, and then touch the fingerprints. Ring finger right in front of left, touch the fingerprints. Skip the middle finger and do the index fingers. Then the middle finger and the thumb come together. And then you bring the hands in front of the heart. This is called Fearless Heart Mudra. And Fearless Heart Mudra, just hold that and I'd like us to do Samavriti or Ujjayi breath here. So many of you are familiar, you can go right into it. If Ujjayi breath is new, it's basically like doing a foggy mirror sound where you're even on the inhale. And you're making that sound with your lips touching. So the mouth is open like a cave. The tongue can move down. There are other positions too, but and then we're moving this kind of then exhale from that sound in the back of the throat out. Keep going. Now, as you continue this, the invitation is to feel the breath, even on the inhale and the exhale. The sense of balance. This is spring equinox, where the days are equal, the light and the night. And so this is the invitation to find your balance, find the evenness, find the equanimity right here, even in this very breath. Feel the breath in the back of the lungs as much as the front, the left as much as the right lung. Balance. May we find this fearless quality to keep connected to our heart, keep connected to each other, even though we're not next to each other necessarily. Okay? How do we stay connected? How do we feel in connection with our own very heart, the resiliency, the steadfastness, and even the blossoming of our very spirit that can happen moment by moment, anytime. Okay, please release the mudra if you haven't yet already. And then lie down on your back for Shavasana. So in your Shavasana, tuck the shoulder blades under. The knees can be bent if you need that for your back, or put a pillow there, that's fine. Just have the legs out straight. Close your eyes. Relax the jaw, your eyes. Allow your bones to relax with gravity, your skin to relax. Any efforting in the breath can be relaxed. And just an ease. I'll do a little chanting through the restful period here, and then we'll close together. Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Feel free to stay a little bit longer if that feels right for you. You can also exit slowly, removing some gentle movements, fingers and toes, and then finding your way very gently onto your side before you come up to seated. We'll close with the palms together in front of the heart lifted, the eyes closed. May we allow ourselves time each day, whether it's a full practice or just a few moments, to come inside into the heart, root ourselves down into that deep steadiness that resides inside. And in that process of rooting, allow that quality of the radiant self to rise up, blossoming like the crocuses out of the earth. Take a moment to honor the bowing into your own heart, the time that you're taking to nourish yourself in this time that where the ground is not quite what it usually is, that the emotions are challenging. And that tapping into the nectar of the heart is actually deeply, deeply supportive for our own healing and our own support in our own heart. Many blessings to you on the first day of spring. Namaste.